I'm Chase Wilson, and I'm here to talk to you about a special chicken by the name of Mike. Now, I'm sure you've heard the phrase like a chicken with its head cut off. This is a metaphor to describe people who run around all the time, uh, but act busy, but aren't actually doing anything productive. The phrase originated from the fact that a chicken will run around for a while after its head gets cut off. One chicken took that phrase to a whole new level. And that chicken is Headless Mike. So today I'll be introducing you to the history of Headless Mike, how Headless Mike managed to survive without a head, and the untimely demise of Headless Mike. Now, Mike started life as a regular chicken on a farm in Fruita, Colorado in 1944. He was decapitated with about 40 to 50 other chickens. Uh, but so the chicken, after a chicken's head gets cut off, usually runs around for a while and falls down and dies. But one chicken didn't do that. So the farmer put him in an old apple crate until the next day. That morning, when the farmer got up and checked on the chicken, it was still alive. So he challenged himself to keep it alive as long as possible. So when he'd go into town, he would take the headless chicken with him, and he would bet people either money or beer that he had a headless chicken that was still alive. A few weeks later, um, news sources like the BBC, Life magazine, and Time magazine, as well as local news sources, came by to interview Mike. And with them came a promoter by the name of Hope Wade. Wade talked the farmer into taking Mike on a trip around the U.S., going to places like Salt Lake City and the boardwalk in Long Beach, California. Now, I'm sure you must be wondering, how did Mike the Headless Chicken manage to survive an axe to the neck? Well, they stopped by the city, the University of Utah on their way, on their way around the U.S. And some professors there uh, gave them some answers. So the brain of a chicken is shoved upwards into the skull at an angle of about 45 degrees. So when the head of the chicken was cut off, only part of the brain was removed. So the brain that was still there still um, still was still gave the chicken motor control, such as heart rate and movement. The professors tried to recreate this marvelous feat, but were unsuccessful. Now, most animals do move after death, like frogs, octopus tentacles, and even humans. And that's due to the firing of post-mortem nerves. And finally, I'm going to talk about the end of Mike. Um, Chickens don't live forever, but after 18 months after being decapitated, uh, Mike was in a hotel on a promotional trip when he started choking on his own saliva. Now, the farmer realized this, but he had misplaced the syringe to clear his throat, so the chicken suffocated. The farmer was too embarrassed to tell anyone what really happened, so he would tell people. He told people for years after the chicken had died that he had sold it to another promoter for other lies. Um, in conclusion, Mike was a very memorable chicken, and his life continues to be celebrated in an annual festival. And this festival contains a 5K run, a car show, and many other fun events. Despite living without a head for most of his life, Mike carried on and continued to fulfill his destiny to become the most famous chicken in the world. Thank you for listening to this speech.